All right, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. Hopefully everybody's doing good out here on this grind. Everything is good. If you are making it the way you can, hopefully everything is well and you are safe. Uh, let's talk about The Last of Us. The Last of Us Complete Collection is about to come out in July, and I saw this and I was like kind of scratching my head a little bit because these two games have been released a lot. I mean, you gotta understand the original Last of Us is on the PlayStation 3, and it came out on PlayStation 4 and on the PlayStation 5, and The Last of Us 2, PS4, PS5. Now they're coming out in a bundle with artwork and a letter from Neil Druckmann, and I was looking at this and oh yeah, also the game is supposed to be only on PlayStation Direct, so you gotta go to the website to buy this. So what I think is going on, well, I'll tell you what I think is going on, is somewhat of a money grab. And me as a collector, I look at stuff like this and kind of scratch my head. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I really appreciate you coming to the channel. We talk about gaming and everything on our umbrella. Right now I'm at work. I usually be up in the office or the studio making videos. And I try to go live at least once a week, preferably Saturday mornings. And hopefully you guys could check that out as well. The last live we did last Saturday morning was really, really good. So let's get into this. Listen, I'm a collector. I like to collect video games, and I'm real particular about what I collect. I don't pick up anything just because it's out there. And I thought this Last of Us Complete Collection was actually a solid look, because I think this is something that I would like to get, even though I've played both games. I completed both games, and I haven't played the remastered version of either one, because I thought, yeah, well, I'm about that. Well, I'll take that back. I played the remastered version of the first one on the PS4, but I haven't completed it. I beat the PS3 version and I beat the PS4 version of The Last of Us 2. So I never really wanted to run back and play it again, but at some point I will, because I do love the games, but I've seen the games everywhere. They're on TV, which I'll talk about that in a second. And everybody still talks about them. It's one of those collections, or both games, where the storyline and the gameplay matches up fairly well. Some people may think the second game is not that good as far as storyline, but I think both of them together, it lines up pretty well. It's a very solid, a couple of games. If you haven't played them, I don't know what you're waiting on. It's on PC now. I think the second one is too, but they're on PC now, so everybody can play them unless you're just playing Nintendo stuff or Xbox. Yeah, and you know what I mean. Nevertheless, I looked at this collection and I'm looking at it like, is this something that I should pick up, or is this just really a money grab? And I looked at the situation where how it's advertised on the website, and I'll probably put the link down in the description if you haven't seen it already. And they really lean towards the Academy Award winning and all the accolades that the TV show got. So this is the reason why we're putting this out. And I'm looking at it like, it looks like that Naughty Dog is just trying to make some more money for the fiscal year. That's what it looks like. Will it work? I mean, I am enticed to get it because, like I said, the last one I did buy was the original PS4 version. I did, of The Last of Us 2. I did buy the PS3 version, the remaster of the first one, and I bought the regular version of the second game. And I was like, well, the game's out now on PS5. I actually thought about picking them up at some point when they're like dirt cheap, the PS5 versions, and just run through them again at some point. But when I saw this version, I was like, okay, this is a pretty solid look. I like the way it's set up, but is it really worth it? I talked about this on the last live stream we did, where we looked at and we talked about the price of gaming. Like, is the price of admission, is it worth it? Is it really worth going through the whole motion of getting a game or a couple of games at the price point that it is at $100? I'm not really sure if it's worth the price, even with all the gadgets and the knickknacks that comes with it. I'm not really sure, because $109, that's a steep price for something like that. And then when you turn around and look at, you could get these games for a fairly good price in other instances, like you can get a steel book version of the Last of Us 1 or The Last of Us 2. I think it's The Last of Us 2. You can get a steelbook version of that for way more cheaper. And The Last of Us 1, they may have a steelbook version out there already as well, that you can probably get both of those games for less than $100, probably very easily. But, you know, if this game is coming out in July, it's going to be only on PlayStation Direct, the website that they have. Like I said, I'll put that link down in the description so you can look at it. And I'm looking at this and it's like, well, if I do get this, is this the type of game I would want to just sit on my shelf and just sit there? Because there's other ways to play these games. Would I want to open something like this? And I'm thinking, I'm really not that type of collector. It's like, it's only one sealed game that I have. It's one sealed game that I have, and it's Concord. And you know the story behind Concord. There's a reason why I have that just sitting there sealed. And I'm like, and I don't think it's going to be much of it or whatever. As far as price, maybe sometime down the road it may go up in price, but I'm not that kind of collector. And I just thought that was just a very unique situation for that game to be what it is. Hell, I may just open it just for the hell of it. You know, I mean, I'm not one of those types. So when I look at this collection now, what I'm going to do, will I just open it and just play the games? But if I do that, I can do this for a much cheaper price on the other versions. Like I said, they have PS5 versions out for both of these games, and the games are pretty much cheaper, and I don't think there's anything different what's on the disc from that one than the other one. So I'm looking at this like I'm paying $100 for the packaging at the end of the day. And like I said, I'm not that kind of gamer to pay for packaging, even though I do want my games complete in box when I do buy them. I don't walk around or up in my game room, I have loose copies of games just sitting around. I like them to be uniformed on the shelf, so I'll pick them up whenever I get ready. But I don't just buy stuff because of the packaging. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You know, I want it to be complete, but I'm not, oh, this is a new cover of a game, I want to buy it. Or this is a nice looking steelbook, I'm going to pay this amount of money. I'm not going to pay $100 for that. So I'm kind of torn about the situation. And the more I think about it, I'm more leaning towards probably just buying the PS5 products of these games. I mean, they do have physical releases of these, right? I know they got a physical release of The Last of Us 1 on PS5. I didn't look to see if they had the second one on PS5. If they do, I'll probably end up getting those. Because like I said, I have The Last of Us on PS3, and I have the remastered on PS4, but I bought it digital for The Last of Us 2 on PS4 Pro, because I remember around the PS4 Pro, that's when it came out, and I got the digital copy of that, so I don't have a physical of that. So if anything, just for collection purposes, if I was to be, you know, a collector that want to get all, I'll probably just get the physical of the PS4 version and the 2 physical versions of the PS5, and don't even worry about this complete collection that's like $100. Like I don't know, man. But I will say this: if these games were never released on the PS5 already, if this is the first time these games being released on the PS5 and is in this type of packaging, it may be worth it. And then the fact that they're only selling it online like that, you're paying for rarity at that point. So now, you know, if you know anything about the retro game market, that is a big influence on games and their prices when you're paying for rarity. So yeah, I can see it then, but you already got these games on PS5. The Last of Us 1 has already been on, you know, both of these games been on the PS4, and The Last of Us Part 1 is already on the PS3, not to mention it's on PC as well. So you're not necessarily getting anything of rarity value outside of the packaging. And I'm not the one to like to pay for packaging, you know what I mean? I'm just not that kind of person to pay for packaging. It's just not my thing. So, y'all let me know what y'all think. You know, y'all let me know what y'all think. I feel at the end of the day that this is a cash grab. I do feel like it's a pretty good, I think it's a pretty good look on its surface. If you just tell somebody, hey, they got this for what it is, it sounds good. But when you start peeling back the layers and know that this game has been out on other platforms, as far as PC, the game's already been released on PS5, it kind of like diminishes the whole, in my opinion, it diminishes buying it. It's kind of like how Metal Gear Solid 5 was. Like, you can buy a package of that, the Phantom Pain and Ground Zero together, and that's really cool if you want both. But for me, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I got the PS3 version of both, and they just play on my PS3. I know they came out on PS4, and I think those versions are only on PS4, the bundle. But still, when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, that's neat to get both, but I bought both of them on PS3, and I just got it there. Even though that, I think Ground Zeroes was one of those first games I bought on the PS4 when it came out, when the console came out. I think it was like $9, but it was digital at the time. But when I bought the physical copy, I just bought the PS3 version, and I got both of the games on PS3. It kind of feels like the same way. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I can ramble all day about this stuff. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. And don't forget, catch me live Saturday mornings. That's why I'll be doing lives where I talk about stuff that's all over the world of gaming. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy. I'm out. Peace.